Hey. I wanted to come on and jump in real fast and speak to my spouses and my future spouses to be. Let me come on. I don't really do many lives on this page because I'm always on my Harmonious Boost page. But I thought I would come on today and share this quick little message with you. I won't keep you that long. I just want to share what I feel like the Lord placed in my spirit to share with my future spouses. This is actually for my engaged couples who are preparing to get married and planning for their marital journey. And so I wanted to talk to you about choosing your wedding officiant. Choosing your wedding officiant. My name is Coach T. I am a marriage and wife life coach / wedding officiant. And I want to talk to my engaged couples today, okay? I want to talk to my engaged couples today. Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life, all right? Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. Why would you downplay it? Why would you downplay it? All right. And so if you just give me a few moments, I want to just kind of share in a little bit more detail why I asked that question. Usually when couples enter into the marital covenant, they are not looking to repeat it. Okay. They're not looking to repeat it. Marriage was created to endure for a lifetime or to death do you part. All right. And so as a ordained wedding officiant, I see too many couples plan their entire wedding day, their wedding ceremony, the reception, the after party, all that other fancy stuff, etc., and they leave the wedding officiant on the back burner as the last thing to do. It's almost like we done did everything we need to do to plan. I go get the dress, I go get, my caterer, I go do all these other things to plan for my wedding, the location, this and that and the other. And you wait until the very last minute to choose your wedding officiant, okay? In my opinion, this is my opinion, I feel the wedding officiant should be the first person you seek out. I feel the wedding officiant should be the first person you seek out. Why? Because without a wedding officiant, you have no wedding. Without a wedding officiant, you have no wedding. All right? Your wedding officiant, along with the couple that's preparing for marriage, those are the highlights of your wedding. Those three people are the highlights of your wedding. Like if you don't have those, you don't have a wedding, right? So in terms, when couples wait, they end up choosing someone quickly without giving into thought what this person will be speaking over their lifetime marital covenant. And they have no relationship with this person, okay? So you basically go and choose somebody quick. You go look somebody up on the internet. You go Google search for somebody. You go ask a family or friend, do you know somebody who, married couples? You choose this person without even taking into consideration this person has first base on your marriage future, okay? They have first base, and so they are the first ones to speak over your future marriage, all right? Some end up, and listen, I want to talk about this a little bit in detail because, I was guilty of this. Some end up doing a court wedding just so they can get their marriage license and plan for their real ceremony afterwards, okay? But the danger in that is, do you know that court officiant who is marrying you? Do you know their relationship requires? If they are anti-marriage, they are actually working and doing a job. Okay, they're actually working and doing a job and collecting a check. Are you in relationship with that person? And I mentioned that because I was one who did get married in the courts. And my husband, many years later, brought this up to me, and he made a great point. He was like, you get married in a courthouse, you don't know who those people are. You don't know what type of relationship You don't know what type of relationship these people have with Christ. You don't know if these people are putting a curse over your marriage. You don't know what they're speaking over your marriage. You don't know these things. You don't know this person. You have no relationship with this person. And so I do not recommend for couples to go to even if they're just trying to we're gonna just go get married at the courthouse and get our papers and then we have our real ceremony afterwards. No, they are still considered first base on your marriage. All right, they're still considered first base. They're still the ones who are speaking on your marriage, who is speaking over your marriage. Okay, so instead of your wedding ceremony being in something meaningful and memorable, it ended up being decorated in fancy words and structured out as a fantasy. All right, it ended up being some type of fantasy. They speak whatever words that sound good, and whatever, they think you want to hear type of thing. That's what's spoken over your marriage covenant instead of something meaningful and memorable. All right. You don't know that person from Jack or Jill, and they are the first ones to speak over your marriage as husband and wife. I know a lot of couples who elope, okay? And when they elope, they go off and get married, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with a person making a decision to get eloped, or to want to elope for their wedding. I'm not saying you shouldn't have your dream wedding or experience your desires in your wedding, but what I'm saying is when planning for your wedding day, the person you choose to officiate your wedding should be chosen in the beginning stages of your planning. Even if you're making a decision to elope, you should be already in contact, in commune with that person who is going to marry you. You should have been spent some time with that person, have had some type of sit down, meet and greet with that person to talk about what you want your wedding day to look like and what you want your wedding day to be. All right. Performing a wedding ceremony isn't as simple as just reading a piece of paper. And I like to share this part because so many couples saying, "Oh, you're just reading this some vows. You just just saying a few words. Hello. You're just saying a few words and that's it." And that's not true. That's not necessarily true. Okay. Officiants perform the ceremony and ensure you and your partner are married under law. Okay. They perform your ceremony and make sure that you are married under law. And there is so much more background things that take place when preparing for your wedding ceremony. If you want a meaningful and memorable wedding, not just something just thrown together, okay? It takes time. It takes time putting the pieces together, painting a picture. It takes time putting your story together. And this is why I feel like relationship with your wedding officiant is so important, all right? As a wedding officiant, I highly, highly, highly recommend premarital guidance. Now, this is why premarital guidance come in handy for me. I offer this to my clients, my client couples as a bundle or individually. Okay, I can either way it goes. You can have it as a bundle, or you can do it just if you want to just do it on your own before getting married. Just want to see about what this marriage stuff is about. I offer it that way as well. All right. And people ask me all the time, will I marry without doing premarital guidance? And that's an area I struggle in for a long time, just because I am a Christian ordained coach. And so when doing that, I struggle with that. I really struggle with that. And I really had to go to God and ask him, how to handle this in a way. And so God, I feel like he released me. He released me because I'm like, and when I do my sessions, I normally give packages and I give away books and I give away a lot of resources because I like my couples to be able to read up on the marriage covenant. I want you to know what you're getting ready to get into before you get into it. And so he told me I was obligated as a Christian wedding officiant to share with couples about him. Okay. Yes. You struggle with the same thing? Yes. But God did help me. He did help me, maneuver through that. And I am obligated. Obligated to share with couples about him. So one of the things, the first questions I ask couples, when they planning to get married, have they already had, premarital counseling or guidance, or have you had any type of premarital? And if not, I do give them the option to let them know that I do offer it. I don't pressure them or try to push it on them. But I do make it my business to share that I am a Christian wedding officiant. And so because I'm a Christian wedding officiant, I do have to share with you about what God says about the marital covenant. And so I remember this one couple I did, they got married at their home. And I came in and sat with them. And I had like a little brochure. I had this little brochure I put together, and I kind of like went over like the 5 basic things about marriage or whatever. And so I went over that with them in detail and shared with them, what God's way about marriage. Now there was a younger couple, so that was a little easier. And I had another couple that was not as young as them. And they, neither did they want to do a premarital counseling. They had already, been married before. They didn't see, no reason to do premarital, counseling. And so at that time, I have a book, and it's a Christian book that I give my couples, and I just gave that book over to them. And so that kind of freed me from, I did my part. So whether they take the book and throw it in the trash, whether they, don't look at the book no more, I did my part as a Christian wedding officiant by sharing it with them. I can't pressure them to take premarital counseling, but I do make it known that I am a Christian wedding officiant. So when I speak over your wedding, your ceremony, I'm going to use words like God and Jesus, and we're going to pray and things in that nature. And so I just put that part out there. So God released me in that sense. So I have a brochure and I have a book and I give it to them. And the brochure, like I said, I sat down with the couple and went over it in detail. The book, I just gave the other couple the book, and it's up to them to do with it as they please. Okay. So the benefits of premarital guidance is the relationship that you develop between your wedding officiant. And I think it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference because now you have a relationship with this wedding officiant. You can also right. And a lot of times I feel like they do that because they don't want to be judged. So they automatically assume that you're going to judge them if they've already living together, or they already, have, did things that, they know that they're not supposed to do as Christians. And so they feel like, well, I don't want to be judged. So no, I don't want to do that. Or I don't want to hear what you have to say about that. And I really think that's a hindrance. I think that's a hindrance on their part, because they really don't realize, what they're missing out on and what other opportunities and avenues that God can open up. So, you already kind of juggling it in a sense, going in it that way. But, to each his own. I'm not here to tell you, oh, I don't think you should get married. I don't tell my couples that, that. Even if I can see something that's not quite right, I don't necessarily tell you, I don't think you should get married. I use other words. Maybe you want to work out areas in here. Maybe you want to improve in this area, that type of thing. But it's not for us to, we're not here to judge anyone. We're not here to judge anyone. We just really want to help you as you prepare for this, because this marriage thing is serious, okay? It's serious. And so the reason why I like to include premarital guidance in my when couples prepare for their wedding is because it builds a relationship. And then telling their story when we do get ready to have their ceremony, telling their story, it makes it so much easier. All right, I can tell they love story because I've spent time with them, I've journeyed with them, I've listened to their stories. Instead of trying to put pieces together, I can hear their stories a little different, and I can see the different things they have overcome, and I can help them through certain things and coach them through certain things. And I have the privilege of marrying them afterwards. So that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of actually sitting down with your wedding officiant or taking premarital guidance. All right. Marriage is two people who fell in love and have made a decision to live the rest of their days on earth together. And in my opinion, again, you cannot make that type of vow to each other without placing Christ at the center of your marriage. You cannot make that type of vow. A lot of people try to make that vow without Christ, and that's where trouble comes in at. That's where trouble comes in at. I tell couples all the time, God is the anchor of your marital relationship, okay? If you are making a decision to spend the rest of your life together with a person, you need Christ right there at the center of it, okay? Now, I know there are several types of wedding officiants, okay? Wedding officiants are ordained members of a religion, organization, or civil officiants authorized by the court or by an online source to legally marry a couple. Wedding officiants can be found from a wide range of backgrounds, including Christian, Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhism, non-denominational, interfaith, or non-religion. Okay, me, Coach T, and this is one of the things I like to highlight to my couples when they reach out to me and ask me to marry them. I am a Christian wedding officiant. I am a Christian wedding officiant. And one of the avenues I walk my couples down is sharing God's original plan for marriage. Okay. This is one of the areas I highlight in my premarital sessions. On my premarital his and her shirts, I have a premarital his and her shirts. And on those shirts, my slogan is no do-overs. Okay. No do-overs. I created that slogan based off of Matthew 19:6, which is the Bible verse that God gave me in my marriage early on in my years. Matthew 19:6 says, therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. All right. I actually believe what God says about the marital covenant. Therefore, I share the good news with my couples as they prepare for their marriage. Another reason why I'm so passionate about premarital guidance and why I really encourage my couples to sign up and do premarital guidance before getting married is because my husband and I did not participate in it when we first got married, okay? We didn't participate in it. And I recognized over the years how much of a difference it made. Jesus. Did it make a difference, okay? Now, we've been married 16 and a half years by God's grace. Come on, Jesus. But I feel like it's my obligation as a disciple of Christ to share with couples what God says about marriage. I wanted premarital guidance, and my husband did not. And so this is one of the reasons why, even if couples are not willing to do premarital guidance together, I offer a pre-wife session for wives-to-be. All right, which gives wives to be a opportunity to still have a session about marriage before going into the marriage, and just really helping her walk through her part as she prepared for the marriage, covenant. So that's one of the highlights of my sessions as well. If you do the 3 sessions, the bonus session is the one for the wife. But if you want to just do it by yourself, wife to be, I offer that as well. Okay. Who you choose to marry you makes a difference, okay? Don't downplay this part. So many people are downplaying this part. Don't downplay this part of your wedding planning. This part needs to be chosen first, in my opinion. Decide what type of ceremony you want to have. Schedule your wedding meet, greet, review, and sign wedding contract. Begin your research on applying for your marriage license. Now, in the state of Georgia, and I do marry in other states, but I live in the state of Georgia. So in the state of Georgia, if you have had up to 4 hours of premarital guidance, you can get your marriage license at a discounted price, okay? And that's another highlight that I bring to my couple's attention, all right? It's vital that couples get on this immediately so they can get all the necessary paperwork they need from their premarital facilitator, which that would be me, so you can get your discount when you go and file for your marriage license. I have seen so many couples celebrate their anniversary in this season. So I know this is wedding season. And so I want to encourage my followers or anyone on this page, or if you know anyone who's looking to prepare for their marital journey, I want them to sign up with us, all right? At Buoyancy, we believe what God says about marriage. Get wisdom, get understanding. That's my memo. Like, get wisdom, get understanding. I share that constantly with my couples, all right? Sign up for your free wedding consultation and or premarital consultation, all right? I don't charge you for a consultation. So you may reach me at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, I hope this have been a blessing to you. I hope you were able to gain some insight from this and know that choosing your wedding official does matter. That's not something that you want to wait until the last minute to do and place on the back burner. This is something that you should do in the beginning. I say that should be one of the first things you do, choosing your wedding official and taking premarital. All right? Talk to you soon. Blessings.